I grew up in Rocky River, Ohio, and my dad had a 5-person machine shop. That was in the good times. If it was not so good, it was just my dad and myself. And I would work every weekend, you know, in the factory, every summer in the factory, all that. And, you know, my dad came over from Germany, and his big dream was, Keith, you got to be an engineer. You got to go to college, man. You got to be an engineer. And so that's why I ended up at Purdue. And I remember I just had a buddy whose sister went to Purdue, and I went there, and I just fell in love with it. And I came back, and I told my dad, I go, Dad, I'm going to go to Purdue. He goes, that's my favorite football team. and also after work, he'd always have a beer and a shot. He goes, he loved them because they ain't Boilermakers. He goes, Boilermakers, you're going to be a Boilermaker. So, and the dream was that I'd go and I'd become an engineer, and I'd come back to his company that he called Litco Industries. He didn't spell Litco's Industries, Steel Fabrication Division, John Krach speaking, Director of Sales. I go, Dad. There's only 3 of us now. He goes, well, you know, we sell the General Motors, Fords, and Chrysler. He goes, we specialize in quality and service. Don't let them come to the factory. But anyway, so the dream was to go to Purdue and come back and grow it to a massive, like probably 10-person organization. And I never ended up going back, but I sure had a great time with my dad. And what happened to me at Purdue is my sophomore year, General Motors came on campus, and they picked a male and a female engineering student. They gave them a thing called a GM scholarship. And I remember calling up my dad, and I said, hey, Dad, the guys from General Motors are out here. He goes, oh, yeah. Tell me about that. I said, well, if I get this thing, I get tuition, books, living stipend. He goes, oh, those big companies, they're all a bunch of BS, man. That's never going to happen. And I call him, I go, hey, Dad, you know. And my dad said, you only save money for 3 reasons. One is a house for your family. Take care of the house. The second is for when you retire, because you don't want to mooch off your kids. And then the third one is for your children's education. You'd always mortgage the third for the first 2. So I call him up. I go, hey, Dad, I got this thing. He goes, I told you, General Motors, man, they would be the greatest. So anyway, that was my thing.